When I first started farming chili peppers here in Ghana, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I remember standing in the scorching sun, staring at few wilted plants and wondering what went wrong. The soil looked fine, the seeds were good, and I was watering them every day. But the peppers just won't flourish. And even when you get a little harvest at the end, most of it will go bad because you don't get buyers to buy it on time. That frustration pushed me to dig deeper, learn from other farmers, and experiment with few traditional methods. And today, after seasons of trial and error, I have seen what works and what definitely doesn't work when it comes to farming chili peppers here in Ghana. In this video, I am going to share with you everything I have learned from soil preparation and seed selection to pest control, harvesting, and marketing. But about chili peppers, every year, Ghanaians consume approximately 120 million kilograms of chili peppers. Aside this, Ghana exports at least 50 million kilograms to other countries every year. In all, Ghana needs at least 170 million kilograms of chili peppers to be able to meet the country's demand. However, Ghanaian farmers only produce a tiny fraction of this demand, which means that the country imports most of its chili peppers from other countries. So what does this mean for you as a farmer? Well, it means you can grow as much peppers as you can and you will still get people to buy them. In fact, statistics confirm that chili pepper is one of the most demanded crop in Ghana. Plus, chili pepper is one crop I came across recently and I realized it is one of the most profitable and have way bigger returns than crops like maize and cassava. So if you are thinking about starting a business that is profitable, sustainable, and in high demand, chili pepper farming could be on your ticket. And I will walk you through how to do it from start to finish. But first, why is chili pepper such a big deal in Ghana? Well, Ghanaians love spicy food. Bros literally grind hot peppers with onions, tomatoes, and salt and eat them with kinky. There is nothing we cook in Ghana that doesn't contain peppers, unless maybe you are cooking Hausa cocoa, which even you put peppers in the kose. Chili peppers are a staple in every kitchen. But it's not just local demand. Ghana's chili peppers are shipped to markets in the UK, France, and Netherlands, where they are in high demand for their quality and heat. In fact, in 2023 alone, chili exports earned Ghana over $30 million. This means that $30 million of export money was shared among chili farmers, middlemen, and exporters in 2023. Chili peppers are also a practical crop. And what do I mean by that? Well, they grow fast, taking just 3 to 4 months to harvest. You can get multiple harvests in a year, which means quicker cash flow compared to crops like cocoa or yam. Also, they don't need a ton of land or fancy equipment to start. Whether you are a beginner or a seasoned farmer, this is a business you can scale up over time. 1 acre of chili pepper can yield up to 3,000 kilograms of fresh peppers. And if you plant about 10,000 plants on 1 acre, this can easily earn you around 15,000 Ghana cedis at local market prices. In fact, I decided to go to the local market today to see the current prices of peppers. I bought 30 Ghana cedis and got only 300 grams when I measured it at home, which means that it is sold at 10 Ghana cedis for 100 grams, and so 100 Ghana cedis per 1 kilogram. Meanwhile, these market women buy from farmers around 5 Ghana cedis per kilogram. And even with that, it is still very profitable for farmers. But to make it work, you need a solid plan. Because if you don't know how to do it the right way, you will make a lot of post-harvest losses and therefore very little profit, if any. Here is the exact 7 steps I used to get 15,000 Ghana cedis from my 1 acre chili farm. The first step is to understand your market. Before you plant a single seed, you need to know who is buying. But the good news is that there is a massive market for chili peppers in Ghana and beyond. Locally, you can sell to market women, restaurants, and food processors who make sauces and spices. Internationally, exporters are always looking for quality peppers to ship to Europe. A lot of companies ship thousands of tons each year. They often buy from smallholder farmers like you and I, so there is a ready market. I would advise that you focus on organic or low pesticide peppers. In Ghana, consumers are shifting towards healthier, chemical-free produce. In 2024, demand for organic peppers grew by 15% in local markets. Internationally, buyers want peppers that meet the global GAP standards. And if you are wondering what Global GAP is, it is just a certification that ensures your produce is safe and traceable. All you have to do is to just follow good farming practices, like using safe fertilizers and keeping records of your farm activities. And it is on this channel you will get training on how to follow these practices. Subscribe to the channel to learn more from us. To find buyers, you need to visit local markets like Agbogloshi or Makola to connect with traders. Knowing your market upfront ensures you are growing what sells. This is a must, and I can't stress on it enough. That is probably the most important thing to do if you want to maximize your income. If you don't do this, your peppers will be harvested, and before you get buyers, a lot will go bad. In my case, I have at least 200 contacts, and before my crops are ready, I call all of them to see who is ready to pick it up. Usually you can't supply them all with one harvest, so you will give to those who are ready, and a week or two you will harvest again and give to others. I beg you to do this and come back later to thank me. Well, the second most important step is to choose the right pepper varieties. Not all chili peppers will give you same profits. In Ghana, the most popular varieties are Scotch Bonnet, Habanero, and Bird's Eye. Each has its own heat level and market. Scotch Bonnet is a favorite for local dishes like shito, while the Habanero is hotter and popular in export markets. Bird's Eye is smaller and stores well as dried pepper. The most important thing to note here is to always do your best to source your seeds from genuine dealers. When I started this business some years back, I bought over 1,500 Ghana cedis worth of cabbage seeds in Kumasi, and not a single seed germinated. And that is how easy it is to waste a lot of money. To get quality seeds, buy from trusted agro shops. Hybrid seeds like those from East West Seeds can give higher yields, up to 20% more than local varieties. They cost a bit more, about 50 Ghana cedis per 100 gram, but the extra yield is always worth it. There are a lot of trusted suppliers in every region of Ghana. In Eastern region, we have Abrabo Farms in Asamankese, Arade Farms in Bosomche, and more. In Accra, we have Agrimart Limited in Medina, Agri Seeds Limited in Osu, and Demeter Ghana Limited in Laboni. I will leave a link to this list in the comment section. You can download and find suppliers in your area. Once you have figured out your seed, you need to find a suitable land and prepare it for planting. You don't need a huge farm to start. Even half an acre can bring in good money. Look for land with loamy or sandy soil that drains well. Peppers will not grow well in waterlogged soil. It causes root rot and kills your plants. Avoid flood-prone areas also, especially during the raining season. A good spot is near a water source, like a stream or borehole, because peppers need to be watered regularly. Once you have got your land, clear it of weeds, rocks, and debris, and test the soil's pH. The pH of the soil should be between 6.0 and 6.8 for peppers. You can get a soil test kit from agro shops for about 100 Ghana cedis to 300 Ghana cedis. If the soil is too acidic, add wood ash, or if it is too low in nutrients, mix in some compost or poultry manure. But always avoid fresh manure because it can burn your plants. This happens because fresh manure, especially from animals like cow, chickens, or horses, contain high levels of ammonia and nitrogen in concentrated undecomposed form. This can lead to burning or scorching of plant roots and leaves due to chemical stress. The best practice is to always compost the manure for several weeks before spreading it around your plants. Or better still, spread it on the fallow soil weeks before planting the seedlings. Sandy soils in Ghana often have low cation exchange capacity, so adding organic matter like compost boosts it, helping your peppers grow stronger. Cation exchange capacity is just a measure of how well your soil holds nutrients. Tell the soil to loosen it and create beds about 1 meter wide and 20 centimeters high. This improves drainage and root growth. Space your beds about 65 centimeters apart to allow easy access for weeding and harvesting. When this is done, you can go ahead and plant your seeds. Start with a nursery to grow strong seedlings. Sow the seeds in trays or a seed bed with loose, fertile soil. You can get one of these trays for as little as 20 Ghana cedis. You may have to get about 50 of them and keep it as your personal asset as a farmer. Why these trays are necessary is because it gives you control over your seedlings. When pepper seeds are young, crickets feed on the leaves and cut the plants into pieces. Within a span of one night, these insects can cause a lot of damage to your seedlings. This is where the trays come in. With the trays, you can lift your seedlings to elevated heights, or even enclose them with something like a net or mesh. In order to sow the seeds, pinch a finger through the soil and drop one seed per cell. Cover it with the soil and water them daily. And in about 3 to 4 weeks, your seedlings will be ready to transplant. But before transplanting, water the seedlings well to avoid any shocks. On your farm, plant seedlings 40 centimeters apart in rows, with 65 centimeters between rows. This spacing gives each plant enough room to grow. You can also try planting 2 seedlings per hole to maximize space, but don't overcrowd them. Stake your plants with small sticks at planting to support them as they grow. Peppers can get top-heavy with fruits. If you want to reduce watering cost, plant during the rainy season, that is around June to August. But if you want to beat every farmer and get premium prices, then plant around November to December, when most farmers are not planting. With good care, you will start picking peppers 90 days after planting. And on that, how do you actually care for your pepper farm? Well, peppers need a lot of attention to flourish. Water them every 2 to 3 days using 1 to 2 liters per plant. In hot, dry weather, water daily but don't overdo it. Soggy soil invites diseases like bacterial wilt. Check for wilting leaves in the afternoon. It's normal in heat and not always a sign of thirst. Weed regularly to keep the soil loose and prevent pests. Peppers are prone to pests like aphids and flea beetles. Instead of heavy pesticides, use neem oil or insecticidal soap, which are safer and align with organic standards. Fertilize with compost or NPK fertilizer every 2 weeks after planting. This boosts growth and fruit size. If you want bigger peppers, pinch off some flowers early on. It directs the plant energy to fewer but larger fruits. If everything is done right, in 90 days you will start harvesting some peppers. Your first harvest comes around 3 to 4 months after planting. Pick green peppers for fresh sale or let them ripen to red for drying or export. Use scissors to cut peppers to avoid damaging the plant. You can harvest 7 to 10 times per season, with each plant yielding about 300 to 600 grams of fresh pepper. After harvesting though, handle peppers carefully. Sort them by size and quality and pack them in ventilated crates to prevent spoilage. You can also cool them at 7 to 10 degrees Celsius if you are storing them for a longer period to keep them fresh. Poor post-harvest handling causes 20% of pepper losses in Ghana. To avoid this, invest in simple storage like shaded sheds or cooling units if you are targeting export markets. You can also dry peppers for longer storage and sell them as powder, which fetches higher prices in local markets. Now, here is what you came for. How to sell your peppers to get premium prices. You sell your peppers fresh to local markets, restaurants, or food processors. A 50 kilogram bag of fresh chilies sell for 270 to 300 Ghana cedis in markets like Accra and Kumasi. For export, work with companies like Joy Copan Enterprise, who have been exporting for over 20 years. They often pay around 5 to 7 Ghana cedis per kilogram for quality peppers. Value addition is where you can really boost profit. You can turn your peppers into products like shito, hot sauce, or dried powder. For example, a 500-gram jar of homemade shito can sell for 100 Ghana cedis compared to 10 Ghana cedis for the same weight of fresh peppers. Subscribe to the channel now if you have learned something valuable from this video.